bed, or down at the foot of the bed, or sleep.
I'm sick with nerves this morning. And I hate that I can't get the right coloring. This is as close as I can get. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna continue to use retinol. I think for my skin, it's doing more harm than good. It's doing more harm now than long-term potential good. I don't know. That's how I feel. This just right here in this frontal triangle area. And most likely gonna do my under eyes. And I'm going to color correct from the thing that I got from my glam video. I really wish the coloring had turned out better in that video. But yeah, if you watch my other channel, Frankly K, more of a, it's a lifestyle channel, then you can see the true coloring in my financial literacy video. I'm just gonna take this, the black opal carob, and go over that. I feel like I don't even have enough light to bring it up there. I'm gonna take some down by the nose. And just basically do that. Okay, skin done. Now we'll just do eyes. Whenever I'm doing work or like interview or any kind of work outside of the house related things, unless I'm like the easiest thing for me to do is just eyeliner. So I think I'm gonna stick with that. You know, eyebrows and eyeliner, like whenever I'm feeling like so nervous that I could just throw up kind of day. Not too long. You guys aren't going to see this till after it's all over, obviously. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Okay. As good as it can get before it gets terrible. There. I focused it a lot on this middle because I wanted to make the eye round and alert. And then I'm going to use Nina like I always do. I'm not going to wipe off the Vaseline. Well, not always, but like I usually do, I should say. And then this one, yeah, I'm just gonna stick with this. No muss, no fuss. Okay. Alright, makeup done. And I've put everything I used in this bag, my trusty travel pouch. And I'm gonna get dressed and ready to go. And try not to throw up. Okay, bye. You guys, I just saw a prescription. I just saw a commercial for the O pill. Have you guys heard about that? Apparently, you can now get oral birth control, meaning you ingest it through the mouth, without a prescription. And what I'm here to tell you is that if you are on a good prescription and everything, then yeah, go ahead. But keep your eyeball out for that, because I had an issue with the health insurance my job provides. They had two different companies, and I picked the one I was the most familiar with. They were terrible about birth control, and maybe it's because they're headquartered in North Carolina, and North Carolina has their own laws and views about what's going on, but they had a whole prior authorization thing, and they would not answer the company I was working with to get my birth control, which was Nurex. Nurex is another thing that I would highly recommend to anyone seeking any kind of mental health birth control. They have stuff for acne and like hormonal kind of treatment things. They have a doctor, they have a whole suite of doctors and professionals there that are available to talk to you when you send a message. I got wonderful service through them. They also tried very hard, kept in constant communication with me about, I just had to make sure it was recording because I can't see, constant communication with me about what was going on when they were having buffer. They had to go back and forth with my insurance. It ended up in a lapse. I told Nurex, just, you know what, forget it for now. Y'all have tried. They tried. When I tell you, these people kept in constant contact with me for at least 2 months because my insurance would not answer them when it came to the prior authorization. And then when they finally answered them, they kicked back a form we had already filled out. They were saying that they just had a lot of things that felt like they were doing everything to frustrate me out of getting birth control, or frustrate me out of having, birth control. And they couldn't say I couldn't have it, right? Because it's allowed, but they can paperwork you to death, and they can administrative tap dance around the issue until you just say forget it. And I did indeed just say forget it, because it ended up in a whole lot of mess. So anyway, I will never be using that company again. And I don't know if it's like libel or slander to say their name. So I'm not going to, because insurance companies have 8 million more lawyers than I have, which is 0. So, although lawyers do have to do a certain amount of pro bono work, so I don't know if this kind of insurance case would be something that they would be willing to take up as a pro bono thing. But yeah, so that old pill, that's looking real good. Because if you've ever had any problems with your insurance pussyfooting around because they don't want to approve something, and then it causes a bigger medical disaster. I'm putting in gray contacts because we're going to do some cool toned things today. It's the end of summer. I've been seeing a lot of makeup people already talk about fall. I am no longer speeding things up. I'm not speeding up the seasons. I'm not speeding up my feelings. I'm not speeding up anything. I think I naturally have this internal clock. My dad used to say this thing, and I feel like maybe it's genetic, but he used to say this thing where he was like, I have this clock running inside of me, and it's just always moving, always moving. And he was like, if it stops, I might die. And that used to scare the crap out of me. So I was like, why would you say that? But I understand him. And it's just this feeling of you aren't being authentic with yourself and with how you move. And I know the world wants you to move a certain way, but this is what feels natural to you. This is how your body works. Now, it could also be a disorder, right? But when you think about disorders, hold on, I don't have any cotton pads. When you think about disorders, you think about why it's classified as a disorder. You know, I had 1 semester of psychology. Clearly, I'm highly qualified and trained to talk to you about disorders. I'm not going to talk about disorders, but I am going to talk about a thought I had because of that 1 semester. When it was talking about how people classify, disorders. And it was saying how you have to hit 5 markers, basically. They didn't use the word markers. I'm using that as like a filler word because I can't remember what the word was. But it also has to do, one of those markers is social construct, basically. Like, you can't call somebody disordered if what they're doing doesn't fit in your culture's norms, but it fits in their origin culture norms. So that knocks that into place. Like, that is something that psychologists take into account when talking about disorders. And I thought that was, clearly needs to be done, because things can be normal somewhere and not normal somewhere else. And if you're just because you're living somewhere else doesn't mean that suddenly you're not normal. You're just doing the normal things from where you're from. And that should be taken into place. And then it's like danger, like if they're a danger to themselves and others. And what was the other thing? I can't remember all those things, but the thing really was about cultural norms. And in this country, I live in the United States, all right? And maybe some other countries, they may or may not resonate with what I'm saying. I think the only other country that's put out like news and paperwork that says they kind of are the same is places like Korea and Japan. They're similar in this one aspect with the United States. And it's the go, go, go when it comes to work. It is absolutely normal for you to be burning yourself out to get where you're going, because that means you've worked hard and you deserve the rewards that are supposed to come. Now, everything and how you do it obviously is going to be different, because culture, space, how we do business, the types of business, the laws that allow certain things. And I feel like in America, was still very much, I love using this phrase because it encapsulates everything, was still very much in the corporate sector, the Wild West. Like, people are still doing whatever the hell they want. New laws have to be created and addendumed all the time because corporations and business laws and all this stuff, like, there's just so much going on at all times with people just trying it and seeing where it'll go. And it bleeds into the people that work at these places. And you start to feel like if you slow down, you will get left behind. And honestly, I started thinking, is that wrong? It will be left behind only if that thing is going where you want to go. Like, you don't get left behind on a train you don't want to be on, right? The train just leaves without you. So I'm like, what if I just let this hustle train leave without me? That doesn't mean I won't work or work hard at what I'm trying to do, but the whole trying to keep up with stuff is more than just buying things. Everyone, when we talk about keeping up with the Joneses and stuff, we immediately think about like buying the newest stuff and looking a certain way and going to certain places, vacationing in the places people go, like, when they look like they've made it in life. And I think that it obviously includes that, but it also includes like the fact that we are, excuse me, I'm just with my little spoon here. It also includes the fact that we are physically trying to keep up with these Joneses, as in keeping up with how fast they move. Like, in this allegory, you could say the Joneses, not just they bought a new TV, so you went out and bought a new TV. It's more like, what I'm talking about is when the Joneses decide that, oh, I've been going after this promotion and stuff because I'm trying to, I don't know, be a whatever. I'm going after an executive position. Suddenly you feel like, should I be chasing my corporate dreams? Should I be chasing corporate? Should I be going? Like, should I be increasing my, Mr. Jones, he just got a new client for his book of sales. Should I be getting a book of business? I need to hurry up. I need to hustle. I need to get to the next person before Mr. Jones does, because otherwise there will be no people left for me. I feel like that happens. I feel like the scarcity mindset, when you're driven into what feels like poverty and what actually might be poverty, I don't know your situation, it just feels like you're getting left behind. And that's what I used to struggle with a lot. It always felt like everyone was moving forward in life because they were moving faster than I was. And I felt like I was moving so fast, and still it wasn't fast enough, or it wasn't fast enough in the right direction. You know what I mean? So that was a lot to really tell myself, listen, whenever people, it was always older people telling me, you can't do anything but move at your own pace, and the reason why they say that is because when you start moving outside of your pace, not to pigeonhole you, everyone might think that that was terrible advice to give, but I don't know. I talked to someone more my age about it back when it happened, and they were like, that person's trying to basically slow me down or pigeonhole me. And I was like, oh, it didn't feel like that. And I dismissed both advices because I was like, now I don't want to listen to anybody. But I should have stuck with listening with that older person, because the way they were delivering that message was not about pigeonhole. It was about being authentic. It was coming from a person who spent their life working towards something and got wherever they are. They were doing just fine in life. So it sounded more to me like they were trying to advise someone to not rush into things that don't even fit who I am, because it's just going to lead to more unhappiness, and that's going to lead to more escapism, and that could lead to more chasing, more revving things up because you're unhappy. And what you're chasing, for me, I'm just going to throw back to myself. I'm not going to say you anymore, but what I'm chasing is stability, peace, stuff like that, like a peace of mind, really, and that comes with financial stability. That's what I'm chasing. I'm not looking to work to chase like happiness or fulfillment or anything like that. And it's always good to have fulfillment and stuff, but I feel like I can find fulfillment outside of a day job. As long as I have to have a day job, as long as like my writing and everything is where it is, it's like having day jobs I can do and that I feel help people. That's fulfilling in itself. It's got a whole other corner of usefulness. Like, most people, they just want to feel useful at work. They want to feel like they're doing something that matters. That's me. I'm someone who wants to do something that matters. I want something that I feel is helping people, and that's how I kind of got sucked into retail, because just the minute of helping somebody even like find a shirt to wear for their vacation. They're going on vacation. This is a big deal. Someone's about to go have a good time, and I'm the person that can help them find the right shirt. That's why I got into those kinds of things. But the burnout, the usefulness didn't outweigh how the job was making me feel. That's where you get the discord. And so that's where I want to stop saying you, like, because I'm talking in a broad sense, but I don't want people to think I'm like talking at you because I have all the answers. I'm just talking in a broad sense. So I'm trying to stop saying you as in like a colloquial you for like people in general, and just saying me. So I hope you don't misunderstand. When I'm saying me and I a lot, it's not because I'm only thinking only I go through these things, but I'm trying to not make it sound like I'm deflecting what's happening to me onto everyone else. So the usefulness was outweighed by the stress of the job, it feels like. And so moving into a different sector of the same machine actually really helps me, because it starts to align more with how I want to live my life. And I don't know, it just feels like sometimes when I was talking about hope in the last clip, because, oh, hi. Welcome to Delicate Darko again. This is a compilation video now. As you can clearly tell, we're on day 2. That was Monday, that last clip. Today is Wednesday. My my dad's coworker has been helping me with my resume, and that's another thing. I think I filmed this, and then I filmed what I'm about to talk about, and then completely like threw it out because it was too emotional. And yeah, but the bottom line was, I had told my dad what was going on with me, despite not wanting to tell him because I didn't want him to worry. And it turned out, he was going to worry anyway because he's a parent. But he apparently went to work and reached out to his coworker. I don't know how much he told them, but they have been helping me ever since, like, revamp my resume. And as I've been restructuring my resume with the tips that they gave me, it's been getting me way more interviews. And so interviews in places that I actually want to be. Then that's another thing I wanted to talk about. I think I'll talk about like how to structure a resume or something over on my Frankly K channel, because then I can like dedicate a whole, like I can put a screen up and kind of just show a fake resume, like, give examples like that for maybe finance and tech industry, because that's the 2 industries I'm in. So, but today's topic still having to do with resume and finding work. It started to be, like I was saying earlier, with the whole hustle bit. Just gonna do normal eyebrow behavior, but we're gonna do something that I did from my shorts, and that's take away these corners. and really just have my eyebrows going like that. Because now I feel like I have a good trick with the why am I showing you the mirror? With the not with where is it? Where's nothing? With the Fenty Beauty that I use to color correct now. Now that I color correct. Anyway, so finding things that align with you and not just things that you can do. So I was a big proponent of someone of hold on, let me find this. Damn, there it is. Gotcha, girl. Anyway, I was a big proponent in finding work I could do while I was looking for work that I wanted. And it just leads to a lot of unnecessary stress. I am telling you, don't do as I do. Do as I say. There's a reason why people say that, and some might think it's hypocritical. I've never thought it was hypocritical. Even as a kid, when I heard something like that, I would think, oh, well, what you're doing, you know, you must know that it's terrible. And I think that comes from who tells you. Even if they tell me not to do something and they're like, I did it and it turned out this way. You know, that's not always the case. You know, for some people it might not turn out the same way for me, but if it's like something that I'm on the fence about anyway, I will listen to that and then decide whether or not I'm gonna take that advice. And it's never from, well, you did it. It's more like, yeah, you did it. So what's going on there? You know, because what's the point in somebody that's like when before humans learned what like berries were good to eat, right? And somebody's like, no, you know what I'm saying? Abu, she just ate that last week and, you know, was shitting her brains out. So don't eat those berries. And then I go over there like, well, that's Abu. That's not me. If them berries might be fine. No, nobody did that. Everybody was like, oh no, Abu ate those and had the shit. So like, it's crazy. Stay away from those berries, everybody. So why do we take that differently when it comes to work? Like when somebody who's run the rat race is telling you it's okay to slow down, why do we immediately think, oh, they're gatekeeping. They just don't want us to be where they are. And they're like, no, I don't, because where I am sucks. And they can see from their perch, they can see all the different paths that they could have chosen and saved themselves some headache. Now, are there people who still tell you to slow down and gatekeep and tell you not to do something because they, you know, want it for themselves? Yeah, sure. I'm sure that's a thing. Like that, like, come on. But I'm just saying, you know, I'm just saying, like, it's a possibility that sometimes people are telling you not to keep up with the Joneses because they know that the Joneses, that you could have done something that you actually liked instead of keeping up with the Joneses, you know what I mean? And so that's my thought right now, like just basically telling myself to slow down and not in a way that can detriment my life. It's like slow down and really find out what it is I'm chasing. And there might be a better way to pursue it instead of running after it with a cloth sack. You know, that's what I feel like. That's what I feel like sometimes. Like whenever I'm like chasing my dreams, it's felt like I'm running after a roadrunner with a cloth sack. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like, and I'm tired. I'm fucking tired. And I don't want the tired to turn into burnout because that's not gonna put me anywhere that I want to be. It's just gonna make me sadder. Alright, so now we took away the ends of our eyebrows, kind of. Let's just see. Let's see. That's a lot, though. I think I put too much. And that leads into me talking about YouTube. I started YouTube a long time ago, hoping it would turn into something, but knowing nothing about how to do that. And a lot of people have come and gone and stayed and come and come and stayed since then. And all of them have advice about how to make your YouTube grow. And it's usually the same solid advice, basically. You know, jump on trends because that's how you get discovered. You know, staying consistent, blah, blah, blah. And I noticed, though, through the years, that there's some people who have made good money or made a name for themselves on YouTube that did none of those things. They weren't consistent. They didn't have a theme. They didn't do any trends. And they're on YouTube living their life with a lot of engagement under their like 4 videos. They haven't been back in 5 months and they're doing fine. So I started asking myself back then, like, so is all this stuff really the way or is it just a way? And because I was older when I started YouTube, you know, I was already like late 20s. And I was like, yeah, not the oldest, just older than a lot of people who seem to start YouTube. They started very early. And I was just like, yeah, some people are living their life. I'm like, yeah, maybe that's just a thing. Yeah, like that. That's what I want to do. See that? Just a tiny bit. Because my natural brows used to come all the way down here. And it's fine. But, you know, sometimes I want to change it up. I try to change up my eyebrows because they really affect how the makeup looks. But anyway, yeah. So, and that was another part of my struggle. I was like, if I have to do all that, this is turning into another job. And would I like it to make some money? Yes, because especially this channel has an initiative of its own. But so it would be nice if it made money to take care of itself and it's like the community initiatives that I have attached to it. That would be nice. So I started being like, well, how can I keep it authentic to me, not make it feel like a rat race, but still make it a workable channel? And I'm still trying to figure that out, but I did decide mainly to not chase any algorithms, and I'm not chasing any, like, I'll do a trend every once in a while if I like it or if I feel like it can be the platform for a conversation. So like, I think the last thing I did was the Sade inspired makeup because like Sade was trending on TikTok and I had heard about it on YouTube and I was just like, I went to TikTok to look through the trend and stuff and it was just as upsetting as like people on YouTube were talking about, and not like deeply where it was like, oh my god, I'm gonna pass out, but it was more just like a real irritation how superficial it had become, which, you know, it is about looks, like, right? Like the internet is a visual space and depending on the platform, you're not gonna get much more than that to get people's attention, you know, especially on TikTok. I think visuals is really like up there on TikTok. So whatever, I thought I'd bring the discussion about the aesthetic to YouTube where people actually want to like sit down and hear somebody talking for an hour. So that's how that happened. But yeah, I was just like, those kinds of things, I'll do that every once in a while, but that's not a guarantee. So now we have to figure out how to get the orange away. That's gonna be okay. So eyebrows done. They're kind of thick today. I think I'm okay with that. Eyebrows are wild, aren't they? But yeah, like working and trying to make sure you're being authentic to yourself. Oh, and that was what I wanted to say. Never, ever, this is the say as I do as I say and not as I do portion. Never, never apply to something while your mind is in survival or desperate mode. I know exactly why. Like, that's the first thing you want to do is get a job so you can have some income coming in because the bills aren't flying. But that's how you get into a headspace where you'll take anything. And then that kind of job becomes kind of a toxicity in itself because they also know you're desperate. That's why they've given you the price that they're going to pay you. And it's probably not the best, but it's something, right? And I've been there, honestly, kind of there right now. And it's just like, you've got to tell yourself, listen, I don't have any money anyway. I need to be, you can get some, I think it's good to do temp work, contract work, if you can, while looking for a job. And a lot more things are temp and contract than you may think. Like, you don't have to be in tech or finance or whatever, or healthcare even, just to be a temp or contract worker. There's a lot of retail places that have contract where you pick up shifts when you need them. And those are a lot of times easier to get because, you know, some retail spaces, they have such a high turnover rate because of the environment, because of the pay. So, because of their, you know, whatever. So it's like finding contracts with them, on call work, vendor, those kinds of things that can help, you know, literally help you scrape money together while you look for a job that is more aligned with how you want to live your life. And I think when you're looking for work, it's okay to hold companies to an expectation. Like, I feel like a lot of us were told, if you want something to be done that way, you got to do it yourself. And that has bled into become an entrepreneur and take on all these responsibilities that, you know, bleed into your life. But it's not going to give you, if you were looking for more relaxed, more calm, more freedom, certain entrepreneurial things aren't going to give you that. I think entrepreneurial things are for when you have a vision for something and you don't mind doing that, like constant work. Like, that's just something you need to think about. I'm not saying don't do it. I myself am an entrepreneur, right? But I'm just saying, like, when you step into an entrepreneurial space, it's not really freedom. It's more like freedom to create these guidelines that you prefer. That's what it is. Because there still have to be guidelines. You still have to give yourself deadlines. There's still different ways you're going to manage. If you have people working with or for you at your company, you know, there's a lot of things you have to take, responsibilities you have to take into account. And a lot of people can do that. A lot more people can do that than they think. They just need, you know, something they want to work towards. And I think it's also okay to have an entrepreneurial spirit and work for a company like that's not yours, because there you have health benefits. They have a lot of different things. Now, you can also get health benefits on your own. You can also prepackage health benefits. That's also something I will talk about on Frankly K, I think, when it comes to business. Like, different places that do group rates outside of companies so that you can have health insurance even if you're like a contractor or you started your own business and stuff like that. So don't worry about just that. That's not something you can only get if you work at a company. But anyway, my point is, like, you don't have to do it on your own. You can find these spaces. You just have to keep looking. It might be a smaller business. You know, I know we all think big business is more secure. Okay, scratch that. I used to think big business was more secure because they had places everywhere. If I needed to move, I could transfer in locations. A smaller business might be, but as I get older, I've seen like smaller businesses are a little more secure because as they're growing, they need you there because it is a small business. They have limited funds, limited staffing. So there's a lot more work you can do. You might feel more useful there. You might also feel a little more burnout there because you might wear many hats. But there is more communication sometimes at a small business where you can go directly to the CEO because it's also the founder and it's also your manager. And it's like you can talk to them about, look, this is how I'm feeling about this. And hopefully, right, they're an understanding person. In bigger companies, you've got a lot of people you have to get through. And some of them don't care anything about you because they met you maybe twice. And they're like, all I see is the production and that leads to whatever. So because today, it's okay to have a 9 to 5, but still emphasize that this 9 to 5 fits in with how you want to live your life. Like if you want slow mornings, working at a job that starts a little later than 9. Those things exist. If you want to be home in the evening with your pets or with yourself, with your hobbies, with your kids, with your significant other, with your parents, if you want evenings to be more of a homesteading time, looking for jobs where you get off earlier, and sometimes a pay cut's involved, sometimes it's not, but the offset of the payload being cut is this, but your bills still being able to be met is the lifestyle you want for yourself. Can you afford going out to eat like you like? Yes. Then you're doing just fine. So living slow doesn't always mean stopping everything, but it does mean refocusing why you're chasing something. It refocuses for me. There I go with that you again. It refocused for me. Like slowing down was more than just not doing. It was doing with intention and just stopping the chase for a moment and just being in the moment. So that's how I started approaching both my channels. I just started uploading on a schedule I feel was working for me, because trying to do like this kind of upload, weekly upload, it wasn't working for me. So I decided to do schedules around the numbers 2 and 8. And I'm just going to use real quick interjection. I've color corrected now. It's a little heavier than I did before. I didn't mean to go that hard, but here we are. I'm going to use this because today I want to do a cool toned kind of thing. So I put the gray contacts in. I want to do a cool toned makeup. I don't know if it's going to be nude or not. I'm feeling like I'm going to keep it nude because I'm doing just like neutral looks, neutral simple looks this week. That's what I put in my head. And because it's late summer, I do my foundation in a different way. You might have noticed it in that first clip where I was putting everything, and I usually just focus it right on the center of my face and leave like the sides and stuff pretty much untouched if I don't do the whole face and then powder, which I'm not going to do. Today, I'm going to do just that, the center. I'm going to use this. This is the most neutral foundation I have. I have a bathroom, like a linen closet outside of the bathroom. And I forgot that I had put makeup in there, and it's just foundation and concealer. 1 concealer and 5 foundations. So I forgot about this double wear that's still here. So I have 2 double wears. This was the backup that I bought. Oh no, this was the original that I bought. The backup is sitting right there. And I think I'm gonna have to throw this one out because now I'm looking. Hold on, let me see something here. Yeah, this is the one from Macy's. So this was my original one that went missing. Well, that I thought went missing. It was just sitting in the linen closet during my move because, I moved. So that means this has been missing since October. So yeah, I'm probably just going to rinse it out and then, I wonder if I could use this little glass bottle or something. I really want to reuse this glass bottle, so I'm going to rinse it out and think about it. But yeah, so this is the old one. Oh darn. So that's going to have to get thrown away. I've been using, apparently, the one that I got at Nordstrom. This one, oh, here's the box. Yeah, this is the Nordstrom one. So this was the newer one because, and I forgot, all these months I've been using it because I couldn't find the Macy's one, and then I completely forgot. But anyway, so that's that. And then I had these, my two Fenties, which I literally just used like maybe a few weeks ago and then forgot I put it in that linen closet because I try not to keep my makeup in the bathroom. I keep my makeup in my bedroom where it's like temperature controlled. And the linen closet is outside of the bathroom, but it is like right next to the bathroom. So I just, you know, when it's steam and stuff, you open the door. I don't know. It just felt like it was right to not keep stuff there. So I took them out. But yeah, and it's $4.80 and $4.50. So I usually mix them together. I used to think $4.50 matched, but it was just because I wear foundation in such a sheer fashion. It kind of just blended into the skin nicely. But I'm thinking I'm more $4.60, and then during the summer, definitely closer to $4.80. I'm probably like $4.70. It's just about how warm or how red undertone or golden undertone it is. I try to look for neutrals a lot because even though I think my skin is a little more red, I think neutral toned foundation flatters me more, and it flatters like what I want to do more. So it doesn't make like eye colors and lip colors clash with my skin as much when I use a neutral foundation. But if I'm going more just like matching my skin tone, I do pick something like a tiny bit redder just because I've got a little reddish undertone that I think is complimentary, but whatever. So yeah, I mix these a lot. And then I had the Juvia's Place concealer. Was this the concealer? I think this was the... No, this isn't concealer. The concealer's over there. No, this was the concealer. This was that other one. And then there's this, which I'm not ready to let go of, even though I don't use it anymore. I'm just like really hoping. I don't think it's ever coming back. They have this site, I told you about it a long time ago, called Bulk Apothecary, where you can still get flesh. I'm really upset that they didn't work out. I liked them. I liked what they were doing. I liked the names. I liked how, like, it was small, way smaller than I thought, but it was perfect for traveling. It was rather expensive, but I thought the foundation was really nice. It lasted a long time. It's a very sturdy foundation. Anyway, today we're using the Revlon Color Stay because it's nice and neutral. I'm just going to put it here. Hello? Come on out. Jeez. Yeah, so I'm just going to put it on the insides. So yeah, right now, I've been telling myself, basically, with these channels, taking the channel seriously, but not being unauthentic to my mission and not playing around with it, because I was like, if I'm not gonna do all these things people say, I had kind of given up on any kind of growth or whatever. I was just like, no, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to be chasing this image on here and then people come here and it's not that. I don't want to create a place. I don't want to start like basically, I didn't want to market any of my channels as something that they weren't, just so that I could get people in the door, you know? It's kind of like when places don't tell you the price of something so that you'll come in and talk about it. And I'm like, I hate that. I know some people might prefer that because it gives them more hope to go in and be like, yeah, I can get something here. But I hate that because I hate going anywhere and realizing like, oh, well, this was a waste of your time and mine because I can't even do anything. This is completely out of my price range, but I'm glad I'm glad for the conversation. People are usually, you know, they're willing to talk to you, but if I'm doing something like furniture, right? I want to know exactly how much it is, what it's going to cost me, etc. before I go in there, because I want the money. I want to be able to have the money to leave with the thing. I want to see it and then work on it on my own time. So I didn't want to like mislead people by like doing popular things and doing trends and stuff, and then that's not like something that I really like to constantly do. Like I'd rather people organically find my channels because and then stay because they like what's happening, not because they were led there by, I don't know, something, and then they want to see more of that, but I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? I just think that's like, I don't know. It just seems dishonest for me. And because I have such a strict, like, because it's not, I'm not trying to make YouTube my full-time career. I just want it to be like a little side project that, you know, it may make money and stuff. And that was another issue. There's like one way to chase a dream on YouTube, and, or at least I thought it was. And I didn't like that maybe I would have to, what I thought was that maybe I would have to, like, in order to make money on YouTube, you have to do sponsorships and you have to like grow to a certain number and everything like that. And I was like kind of not looking forward to that because I don't know if I want to do sponsorships. Like, I don't see any problems with them, you know, as long as they're like disclosed properly and whatever. Like, you know, other people, they should get their money, especially because this is their full-time job. But I didn't want my channels to just turn into, I wanted it to actually be about content. I didn't want them to make money only because I have sponsors or something like that. So that was my biggest issue. Trying to fight with myself that, you know, just because you start to grow your YouTube channel doesn't mean you have to take sponsors, because they have the whole AdSense. Like, I think I would just let the money come from AdSense, even if it's like maybe less than what I could potentially make on YouTube. I would rather just, like, you know, put a little commercial at the front of the video, put a little commercial at the back of the video, call it a day. Kind of like how me and my sister do our podcast. We make our money on that podcast from the ad rolls that come on at the beginning and the end. The platform we use to upload our stuff is Spreaker. And Spreaker, like, they're constantly telling us to put more ads. They're like, your ads aren't optimized. It used to be 2 and then it turned into 4 and now it's like 6. So we've actually like tried to, because they'll like put a little X thing and be like, you're not gonna get any ad money if you don't do what we say, basically. And so that's a bit annoying, and I hope YouTube isn't the same, because I can't control ads on my videos right now. You might have seen an ad on one of my more popular videos, but that's because YouTube, when you have a well-producing video, whether you are an ad partner or not, they can put ads on your video. So some of my videos that are like in the 800s or whatever, sometimes there's ads on them. So there's that. I don't see any money from it, but that's how that goes. And so that's another thing where I was like, you know, I just feel like as much money as you make on here, and you're basically working for yourself, you're also still working for YouTube, who works for advertising. And at one point I was like so burnt out with the idea of marketing and advertising, and that's why I like wouldn't take YouTube as seriously as I wanted to, because I didn't want to end up drowning in like a marketing trap. So I may or may not do sponsors if that's available to me. It's not really of interest to me. Like I said, I think I just focus on AdSense. Unless it was like a sponsor of like maybe a small company that I just really wanted people to know about. And that's another thing. I want the freedom to talk about what I want to talk about, how I want to talk about it. And when you take sponsorships, there's a lot of contractual stuff. And I know some people are like, you don't have to say nice things just because it was sent to you in PR. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not the same thing as a sponsorship either, you know. And that's another reason why I don't want PR either. That's why there's never going to be a public mailbox for that. Like if they send me PR, it's getting sent right back, because I just don't want to get caught up in that. I don't want that portion of what's going on. You know, sometimes I used to think that when you were running this rat race, when you're running this rat race, you had to do it a certain way, otherwise you get left behind. And that goes for the internet 1,000 times. So like on YouTube, on Instagram, like there's a certain look, there's a certain way people do things, and they have a lot of what people consider success and what would look like success to anyone, because you know they're able to pay their bills with it. But it's like I didn't want to have to go down that same path of like PR and sponsorships. I just wanted a calm, quiet space. Like, so my two channels are really calm. They're not always calm, let's be serious, but they're not always quiet, I should say. But I think they're calm, as in I may get excited and everything, and I will start laughing. Some videos I'm louder than others, but I'm talking so much today. I guess 'cause that first day I was like gonna throw up. But so my eyebrows are still kind of orange on the ends. I'm really not liking them that much. I mean, from afar, I don't know. I don't know. I thought I had something there. Concealer, baby. Yeah. We'll just take that and we'll wipe that on the back of my hand there. It's just the Maybelline Cocoa. And I'm just going to take this. But yeah, as you see, I like just put it here and then blended it this way. Kind of just to make this part, I'm not putting too much there, but I did put some, right? You know, because I actually put a lot in the middle. So we're just going to take this and try to get at the ends. Better. Alright. And then I keep taking this out of my videos because I keep rambling. But let me see if I can say it concisely. Makeup wipes. I still use them. One, to take makeup off in a primary step of skincare, and then I double cleanse. Two, to take makeup off of my hands while I'm doing my makeup. And three, to take makeup off of my surfaces when makeup gets off them. So like mirrors, desks, other makeup containers, stuff like that. So I still buy makeup wipes a lot, and it's for wiping makeup. That time I think I managed to be succinct, and it will stay. So anyway, oh Lord, I've been doing my base for an hour, mostly because I've been talking, but the base is looking good. I also really like that that Revlon. And I bought that for the first time with a coupon. And I'd never bought Revlon complexion products before, only their lipstick. And now I buy Revlon complexion products because when I bought that one, that same kind of foundation years ago with that coupon, I have a video on here about it when I first bought it. I was like, oh yeah, this is it. And so it's been in my drugstore rotation ever since. The color is really nice. Yeah, the problem is I don't see that color everywhere. It's in my area because I guess just a lot of dark skinned people live here. But even that is starting to wane. People at the stores are like putting less dark skinned stuff in than I've ever seen in my life. Like in the area that I grew up in, I was always able to find like dark skin complexion products in the drugstores. Like, and now it feels like as if, I don't know, maybe because I think everyone buys stuff online, it's like the drugstores just stopped. It's just dwindling away. Like, and that's very upsetting, but whatever. Everyone talks about inclusivity when it comes to lines, and that's another thing. Topics. People are always trying to keep up with one another or jumping on a bandwagon about a topic and not exploring that topic in its fulfillment. Like the whole problem with inclusivity that I have, and I talked about this years ago on this channel, and it's getting worse. The inclusivity bracket. Where everybody wants everyone to have all the things for everyone. And I personally don't need that. There are brands, I'm not checking for whether they're doing something for me. I'm not clamoring at the door to see if they're going to do something for me. I don't give a fuck if a personal brand doesn't have something for me. They can do whatever they want. The problem I have is when a whole store or a website or something like that does not have someone else who is trying to cater to me. Because every day there's a brand with somebody who is like, I make things for y'all. Me, dark skin, whatever. I make things for what you want. I make things for people with eczema. I make things for oily skin. I make things for hyperpigmentation on dark skin. Those kinds of things. People, there are brands out the wazoo doing this kind of stuff. But stores only carry the same like 4 people. And those 4 people, then that is what started the conversation. Where it's like, if this is all y'all gonna give us, y'all need to do more. You as the brand. But I feel like the onus shouldn't be on the brands, because someone can make a brand better and more relevant. But the problem is they can't get on the shelf because you got to buy shelf space. That's number one. I think everyone knows that. You have to buy shelf space. That's why when you go into a store, places like CoverGirl, Maybelline, they got 4 or 5 rows of shelves because they have the money to do that. So that's my beef with inclusivity. To me, it's not about brands making something for my skin tone. It's about the stores and the websites finding the brands that already do stuff for my skin tone and my skin type and putting them in the store. That is inclusivity to me, not Maybelline making 70 shades of dark skin tones, which I like, right? I think it's a smarter idea to be making makeup. Like, if you're going to be a global brand, you should be making makeup for the various types of skin tones. But there is no inclusivity if it means that it's just the same people doing the things, okay? That's not inclusivity. It's gatekeeping. As a matter of fact, it's okay. Y'all want dark skin products? We're not going to bring in any of these places that already do dark skin products. We're going to tell the random places that didn't want to do dark skin products because they thought there was no market in it to start doing dark skin products. Like, make it make sense. I'm not going to turn this into a rant. Let's get back to the makeup. So we're going to do just a tiny bit of cool toned contour, and we're gonna go here on this side of the bracket. This is Ramen. I haven't used them in a while. I actually brought 2 Ramen things with me, this one and this one. And honestly, because I'm doing more nudes, like these go well together, okay? But this one is like more neutral than it is cool. It's a cool neutral, and this one's just, you know, straight up cool. This color, hold on, where is it? That one, so cute. it's almost got like a rosyish tint to it, and it's nice on the eye just a little bit. Like if you're doing like a grungy kind of a light grunge. If you're doing like a light grunge, I think. Anyway, and then I use this one sometimes as an eyeliner, which I think is what I'll do today. So just so I can have like a dusting of an eyeliner, because I really don't feel like putting on an eyeliner today. It's scandalous. So, and then, oh right, and this was the other thing that I brought, the Juvia's Place, the taupes. Again, for like my favorite shimmer in the world. But I don't know if I'm actually gonna wear shimmer today. I'm gonna go right there. So come on in. Oops. I'm gonna go right here with that guy. And just kind of put it right there. Yeah. Something soft, like a whisper. A whisper. And on the inner corner, look at that. It's a really nice, like, neutral, but honestly, what if I used it to sit under my eye to really bring my neutral dreams to life? There you go. Let's get rid of that without losing the brightness. We're just gonna get rid of that orangey tone. Corner of this eye. Get it in there. Yeah. I'm not rushing anything anymore. Except maybe myself if I'm late. But I'm not rushing or pressuring myself. I'm just going to live my life. I'm going to work hard. And I'm going to work hard at not feeling like I have to chase something or I'll get left behind. I think that's what causes burnout for me. Like feeling like I'm gonna get left behind because I'm not moving as fast as everyone else. And that's not true, because you have to do things when they feel right for you, not before. And honestly, not after. If it doesn't feel right anymore, leave it behind. You know, that's the other aspect of this whole thing. Sometimes you're chasing something for so long, you start to think, I've spent so long doing this though, I can't give up now. And it's like, yes you can. Yes you can. If it starts to feel like you've been chasing something that no longer aligns with how you want to live your life, or you've been chasing something and then, I was looking at the end of my eyebrow there, it's ridiculous. You've been chasing something and then it starts to feel like it wasn't worth it, but you feel like you spent so much time in it, you're just gonna, it's a waste to just leave it. I think just give it a solid chance, but also if you're feeling like this isn't what I thought it was gonna be, don't waste another minute. Don't waste another minute. Don't. This is what I'm telling myself. Like, I'm no longer gonna waste another minute something that doesn't feel right, and I'm not going to chase things the way people tell me stuff needs to be chased, because it's never worked for me and it's only made me feel like I wasn't doing something properly, and I wasn't. You see what I mean? Like, I may have been doing what people said was what you have to do. I may have been doing what people said you have to do, but it wasn't working for me. So, I mean, what more are you supposed to do at that point? I'm going to take this brown and just do the outer corners. There. That was from what? Who's this called again? The Dusty Fog Garden. right? And so we got my nice cool tone base that I think is really pretty. So anyway, then this one's just brown. Just a nice, clean, natural brown. Okay? And we're just going to put it out here. Boop. Because it's just a nice depth. But yeah. That's what I feel has been leading to me having more inner peace. And also just trying things. Like, moving into a new field may be scary, or, going back to a field like me. I'm going back to tech. That's what I'm working on right now, because I noticed how much I've been using in my daily life since I left the tech world, left that pursuant, because everyone, first of all, they were telling me to go into tech, and we're talking about 12, 14 years ago. So, I mean, I could have been nice and sturdy at this point, but that wasn't what I was doing. I wanted to chase, this more. I wanted to chase my entrepreneurial. I wanted to do more finance, and I don't regret any of it. I don't regret it because there's less and more time than you think. You know what I mean? So, no, we don't have all the time in the world, but look at how long things do last sometimes in the world. You get what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm making any sense, but like, for instance, it's been years and I feel like tech is only growing, and because I have a nice little background education wise and life experience wise, it's still something I can come back to. And as things have grown, it took time for me to realize how attached I am to doing tech work. So we're talking more like database or UX or UI kind of things. It's either one or the other. Like, I'm either inside or I'm doing the surface. But yeah, I just told myself, why aren't you just also pursuing that? Like, because I started to realize that you have the ability, ma for bang. You don't have to be intimidated by it. I realized that a lot of my hesitation with tech came from intimidation, thinking that there was no space for me in there. But now, I think it came at the right time, right? Like, I have the experience, I have the education to continue to pursue that education so I can get some certification. It's like, why not now? Why not now? I don't know. It's just, I thought I had to do it again, all in a certain time frame, and because that time frame, that age had passed, I was like, oh well, I gotta hurry up and do something else, because everyone my age is doing this. They're buying houses, they're making families, they're whatever, and what is it I want to do? I know what I want to do. I also want to buy a house. I want to make a family, not because they're doing it, but I'm saying that I want to do it, and I see they've already done it, and I'm feeling once again like I've been left behind. And I don't know, as I keep advancing through life, I'm starting to realize that I am not being left behind by anything. I'm doing things exactly when they should be done in my lifetime. When I do things before I'm ready, they don't turn out good. Even when I'm pushing so hard to make them turn out good, they just won't. So, alright, so that's that. I got that going. I actually want to clean up the edges a bit. There you go. That's been my journey since I had to forcefully reset my life. And sometimes the body itself will tell you you're not living right. The body will tell you you're not living right, boy. So don't wait for it to do that, though. Honestly, the body breaking down on you is the last resort, because there's all kinds of signs before that: migraines, stress, irritability, not sleeping well, dry skin. I don't know. I don't know what it is for you, but mine manifests in different ways. Like, you know what I mean? And you know these things, and you're like, oh, but it's not so bad yet. And then my body breaks down, and I'm like, oh no. All right, eyes. I might keep them like that. I'm gonna add a little sparkle, just a little bit. I'm gonna use that one. I'm just gonna. Up. I'm just gonna, just a tiny bit, just a little. Honestly, I should have put it on the inner corner. It's too late now. Just let it shallowly be on the lid. Shallowly. There. Kind of like a starry night sky, even though it's the middle of the day. And also, that's another thing. In toxic workplace environments, they will try to convince you that this is the best thing for you, you know what I mean? And that honestly, they've helped you. You'll start to think, I was in such a desperate place. This place, you know, is what got me together. You know, I might not be able to get anything else. And don't you ever think that, because everyone has something to offer many different spaces, and someone's going to see that, whether you have experience or not. Like, people don't just get experience out of nowhere. Somebody sees something in them and takes a chance, and that's how you get experience. So just keep trying for those doors. Don't think that you can only do one thing just because somebody told you that once. Like, you may be good at it, so you can use it to like stack your money, stay stable, but just because, you know, somebody once told you that this was all you could do, or that you were really, really good at this thing, doesn't mean that you can't be really, really good at the thing that you were initially pursuing. And that's what I was talking about earlier, when it's like, don't go into a job with desperation, because then you pigeonhole yourself into that place and start to accept things because you're thinking, this is what I have to do. I have to do this, you know, to get through. And you don't. You don't. Because at the end of the day ends, and that company will fire you just like anyone else. So don't ever think that, you know, that's all you have, because you're not all they have. Eyes done. Very subtle. I just put a little bit of sparkle here and there. I think I'll put a little of that brown underneath. Or I'll put a little bit of that white underneath. I'll use the end that I just used for sparkle, because why not? I'll just put it here, inner corner. I like, it's soft. It's like a cream. It's not white. So I don't think it's gonna last on that inner corner, but while it's there, it'll be cute. And I'm just using the little color next to it to kind of soften it out so it doesn't look completely just like white. Alright. I'll just wipe the excess from the bottom there. There we go. I like it. Actually, I kind of want to... No, I'm not going to take it all the way around. Thanks, Rom, and... I'm using my eyeshadow pencil just to do my eyeliner. First, I'm going to wipe it off with a new makeup wipe. Okay, and then I'm just going to do like a little outside down slope there, like that. Something to just give the eye more shape. Yeah. Now I have just a little bit of a line right there, sloping down, but lovely, lovely. Nice. Done. Oh, excuse me for not wearing a white shirt. Let's go with a nude look. I got these here. So, Nina on the outer of the lip. And then yeah, let's smooth that out. And then ingenue or bronze sugar. Bronze sugar is a gloss. Ingenue is matte. I've been really into the gloss version of this. It's also lighter, but I think I should just go full matte today. I have sparkle in the eye. Let's see how I feel. I think this is their Velvet. This is ColourPop. And that Nina was Uma Beauty, formerly known on this channel as Uoma. I can't believe no one ever corrected me. I'm looking at y'all. Why y'all let me keep saying that? Anyway, yeah, I think I like it like that. We'll just stick with ColourPop today. And we're done. Let's take out the head wrap so that it feels like we're really done. Okay, we're gonna do something we're gonna stay with the Ramand family, and this is their Rosebud Garden, as you can clearly see. And I think I'm gonna like mix these two or these three, or maybe 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna mix like 1, 2, 3, or maybe 1, 1, 2, 3, and then place it like right here. See how that works out for me. If it ruins it, it ruins it. Ooh. I'm just gonna put it right here. Okay. Yeah, that's it. I know I just said I wanted to do a cool tone that wasn't pink, but sometimes pink is what you need. Oh, I like that. Yeah, that made it feel more like me. I'm just gonna put a little bit on the inner part of the nose, like right there. Oops, I need a little more. And then just rub it, excuse me. But yeah, basically get it in there. Oh, there we go. All right, now I feel finished. Now I feel complete. Is it even dark girl? There's no pink. Yes, but it's summer. That's it. That's it. That's what I needed. That's what it needed. Look at that. It's alive. So yeah, now we're done. Get up in here, as always. Oh, focus. There you go. My eyebrows are kind of wonky under there. Look at that. The glue is coming right off. Isn't looking favorably on this everlasting eyebrow. Oh well. I tried. I tried. But yeah, that's the look. Okay, I'll see you guys. See you guys in the next clip. Hi. Welcome to Delicate Dark Girl. Day whatever this is of my compilation video. I just had a phone screening interview and scheduled the interview for tomorrow morning. Fingers crossed. I am now eating breakfast. Tomorrow I have 2 interviews. One phone, one Teams. And it's always really exciting to get interviews. Makes my stomach hurt. Because so far the interviews have amounted to nothing. So even if you were somebody that's like, at least you're getting the interviews, that's true. But, no but. It's true, and also a little more heartbreaking when that happens. When you just get rejected without even an interview, it hurts. Get all the way to the interview, the second interview, and you don't get it. Also, I asked for feedback after one of the interviews where they said you would hear something by Wednesday or Thursday, and then I didn't hear anything. I waited till the following Monday, right, to give them like the Friday, give the weekend, Monday morning. I emailed the recruiter, HR person. It was like, hi, any updates? And sometimes you'll get a nice recruiter person that's able to make the time to answer that. But this time, I guess the person didn't really have time, or maybe my message got lost, or maybe they just didn't want to answer it. I don't know. There's a lot going on. It was a big establishment, so they probably get a lot of emails. Mine could have got swallowed, and then they were thinking, listen, you got it. You didn't get it. So it was kind of disheartening, though, because it would have been nice to have an update, like, hey, they picked somebody else. I was kind of just sitting in limbo, hoping, until like the week before, like today was the date they quoted for the starting of training. So I clearly did not get it because I'm sitting here instead of at training. Anyway, so that really hurt. But I have high hopes for tomorrow. That's why I didn't waste any time. She gave me a couple days to choose from. The recruiter for this one gave me a couple days to choose from, but I really just, it's kind of my first choice. Not kind of, it is my first choice. So I scheduled it before I scheduled the interview that I already had scheduled for the afternoon, just so I can see what happens and go into that second interview with a sharper, more competitive mind. Like, okay, well, this is what I have it to compare to, you know. Anyway, I'm going to finish eating this and then we'll come back and redo a makeup that I did the week before last week. It was going to be the day after what you just saw, but I didn't like how I did my eyebrows. So now I'm doing the look over again. I'm going to fix my eyebrows. Well, don't get dark, girl. Today I have 2 Zoom interviews. I did it back to back this way on purpose because today's the one day this week I'm not working my other job. So I did both interviews today. One's at 9 a.m. It is 7:51. I got up at 7:30, which is a little late to be honest. So the makeup's going to be different from when I had the interview in person. It's going to reflect the medium. I am going to use the color scheme that I was going to do yesterday. I ended up doing something else yesterday. I think today's a good, oh man, another pimple coming up right here. I just got rid of a pimple up here. Like it just finally went away. It's got a scar. But one I don't pick has a scar. Anyway, I'm not going to talk too much because I'm going to make my eyebrows gentle, but they need to stand out on camera. Okay. A little darker, a little more pronounced than usual. Can't be doing my eyebrows for 34 hours. Oh my god. It's okay. Just move forward. And use my chill out. I'm using this on my eyes. It's bright, so I think I need to take out my contacts. They read well on camera, so I might just leave them in. I'm just gonna put that pink, the shimmer one, in the inner corner. Although I would put a matte, but again, we're not in person, so a matte might just read like eye crust. Just put a little down there. Doesn't look like eye crust, does it? I'm thinking maybe this placement will look like eye crust no matter what you use. I'll blend it out. That's better. Oh, that's much better. and get it up there like that. There. Okay, that's nice. I'm just blending that out. I like that. Pencil. Good old pencil today. A really nice thick line. Its eyes. Got some brightness in the corner. I think I want to put under the eye. I'm just going to put that natural pencil under my eye. I'll just take it out to this inner corner too. Outer corner. Right under the line. Better. Today I will color correct. I have to change clothes. Change clothes. I need something soft and semi-matte. You don't look too dry on camera, but okay. I don't know if I should do a red lip or not. And then a bright lip, but not a dry lip. That always reads nicely on camera. I need to put my earrings on, but that's the makeup. I'm going to put a tiny bit of that same pink that I have on my inner corner on my nose. Right there. And right there. A15. So now I have to try to, not try, but I can fix my zoom, set up my area, change my shirt. Maybe I'll show you. Bye. Alright, this is the shirt. I was wondering if maybe I should wear blue, but that's why I picked pink. I think this is a good shirt. I don't know if I should leave this very top button open or closed. Like, maybe open, close this too. Or maybe open is too. There aren't shoulder pads in it, but I ripped them out, so it still has like the shape of something with shoulder pads. I need a necklace. That's good. And then of course I'll take my head tie off. Wish me luck. I thought I'd show you guys what I look like on camera, on a computer camera. This is how the makeup turns out. I think the highlight in the eye is really beneficial. My eyebrows came out stately. Again, if I had lashes, I would have put them on. But keeping my eye nice and bright is working out. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous I could throw up.